Good evening, good morning, whatever it is where you are. I am John Harder from Ontario, Canada, and I am addressing the Billion Coin community with another episode of live stream on YouTube. And what I want to do in this episode, I want to go over what TBC is, why it was created, what we're working on achieving, and how, basically where you can find the information for these things that I'm talking about, and so on. So let us begin. So TBC, why was it created? Well, it is not a secret anymore why the world is operating the way it is, because there's a banking cartel that has been manipulating the monetary systems all over the world, the banking systems all over the world, and has taken over pretty much every bank. Now, we could, we know that some countries have freed themselves from it, and that is great. That is really an awesome thing. Like there is Hungary is now free from the central banking system. Russia is. I have heard that Norway is, but I don't actually have confirmation on that. But that's just that what I've been told by somebody. The Philippine Islands are free from the central banks. Bolivia is free from central banks, and it seems to me there's another country that I know about, but I can't place it right now. So, but so that is a few countries, which is really a blessing to see, and so it's like we can hardly wait until we're all free from them, and of course that's what we are achieving with TBC. So I want to share the screen for a bit, and I'm going to go over a couple of things. So I'm gonna go and do that right now. Okay, so this here video, I watched it. It is by the Dollar Vigilante. It's actually quite a video. Watching this video will really help you get a better glimpse of what the central banks are basically of what they're planning now, and I think they kind of feel kind of at a loss right now because their plans aren't working out. Okay, so but I guess we'll see where things go. There was supposed to be a monetary reset, which still hasn't taken place, and I know that the central banks are stalling it off as much as they can. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to go here and I wanted to put in migration. I want to just show us where we can find that information. So here we are, migration, and the new wallet. Please watch video. Migration is live, and here. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, so yeah, this is the one that I was talking about. So really, to find the information on how to migrate is actually very easy. So all you got to do is here on the search, you just type in migration, and then of course you can kind of pick and choose what you want. There is several of them there. This here is the particular one that I was looking for, and it kind of walks you through the whole thing, because in your Kringle Cash back office, Kringles.cash back office, that's where you start, and you click the button migration, migration button, and that sets you on your way. So then you have these questions to answer, and of course, if you have them correct, you'll have a message here telling you that it's correct. Question 1 was answered correctly. And if you did it wrong, it'll tell you that it was wrong, and you will need to do it again, and and select the right, make the right selection. And then of course, you can read each question. You kind of need to know. You need to know, because otherwise you're just gonna, you'll choose the wrong one. And let me just encourage you. I'm going to stress this a little bit. Do read it, because it is very valuable to know. Okay, so you go through all of these 10 questions. It's actually quite easy. And then now I know that some people I have noticed already had created a wallet where this here is actually the sign up form for the wallet, but it's no problem. Because once you have, like, whether you already have a wallet or if you do it here, doesn't really matter. So then you fill this form out. But if you already have one, then you need to get your wallet address from your wallet when you log in, and there is an address in there that you need to enter here. Okay, that you need to enter here on your uh, I guess it's still in the Kringles.cash back office where this form is. Yeah, it would be, because that's where you're clicking this button, right? So this is all in the Kringles.cash back office. But in order to connect and get your coins over to your wallet, you need to log into your new wallet and get the address from the wallet and put it in here. Okay, so, and then submit, and you're done. That's it. You've migrated, right? Yeah, I mean, as far as your part is done, here's what you'll have. It says your request has been submitted, and that's it. You're done. For mine, it took 3 days. Now I don't know how long it takes now. I did mine about a week ago or so, and it took 3 days for the coins to get there. So if the coins aren't there within like 3 days, just I don't know, I'd say give it an extra day at least, and then if the coins are still not there, then maybe contact support. I don't know, but uh, you know I would say don't be too eager to do it, but also, like, if it takes like 7 days or anything like that, by all means, I would say then contact them. So that was one of the things. Another thing that I wanted to just go to here right now is I want to take us to why TBC was created, or what's it about, or what's, so for me, I like, I will go to the mission statement. Now, I know that there is much more to it than you would probably find just here, but it's a very good thing to know this mission statement, because of what it says. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and read the whole thing here, so bear with me. I'm kind of a slow reader here. So our mission statement is to serve one another with love and respect, and use the billion coin to lift humanity out of hunger, poverty, and misery. May the scales of ignorance fall from each that we touch, and may they each embrace a life full of abundance and prosperity, as they accept our offer of free membership within the Billion Coin community. that within it they can enjoy all the benefits of using a completely decentralized cryptocurrency that truly respects the financial privacy of each that use it. It's within our power to bring in merchants of all kinds from every corner of the earth to accept TBC for payment for their goods and services. May the billion coin reach its full potential one day when the community grows to a billion verified members, locking the ultimate price of TBC to 1 billion euros per coin. Now, that has actually changed now that we're backed by the price of gold. Uh, Instead of 1 billion euros, now it is more like 1 point or 2.3 or thereabouts billion uh, US dollars kind of price. So about 2.3 or so US dollars, a billion US dollars. Okay, our mission is great. Our mission is good. May each of us do our part to fulfill it. So let me just encourage you, if you aren't sharing your Kringles.cash back office, I would highly encourage you, do at least share it with your friends and family. Do at least what you can. Um, and maybe that will even set you off that you will actually enjoy sharing it, and maybe you can share it with many more people and actually even make some extra coin or actually extra money by doing so. Okay, so that is what we found there. And now, just as easy as it was to find those two items in the search bar here, you can do that for anything, any questions you have about the billion coin. You can really actually just type it into the search here, what you want to know, and it'll pop up for you. So it's very, very easy. All right, so let's go back now. Actually, I got. We'll stop the share and here, and then go back to our screen here. Okay. All right. So I wanted to go over that with you because I expected some new people here, which if they didn't come on now, I have invited some uh, some people on that had asked me for more guidance, and so I wanted to show uh, share that so that they have a better idea how to go about doing the migration if they have a question about it. So those of you who are here, you probably all migrated already. So I wanna just encourage us again, as I usually like to give us a few words of sort of an inspiration. And I'd like to talk to us about the law of vibration. Maybe you're all very familiar with it. I don't know, but the law of vibration. Now it's interesting how through science we can find more and more and more and more ways of more materials, more. I don't know if they're still finding more colors. I don't know. I don't have no idea how many colors, how many shades of color there are so far. But uh, however many there are, every color is really just a different frequency of vibration. Every sound is a different frequency of vibration. Every object is a different frequency of vibration. Every different kind of material. Why is this? How come that everything that exists is really only a different vibration, different frequency of vibration? Because some vibratory frequencies are very, very low vibrations, and then of course it goes all the way up to very, very high. Now, when a person is very happy, it is said that they are on a very high vibration. Now, uh, sometimes it would be nice to actually know it to better on a scientific level. I only go by what I have learned, and so I have this sort of a understanding about it because I have been reading it. I've been hearing people talk about it, and I've been reading about it, and I think that I sort of have a handle on understanding it. And it is simply because the atoms, which is actually the smallest um, I, life source that exists, and therefore, because atoms are it's a life source. They are not just like atoms. They can't be destroyed. Atoms can't be destroyed. And now, years ago, when scientists were starting to discover, discover many things, especially when they started to discover like atoms and thoughts that thoughts are actually a life form. They're actually alive, and they're actually responsive. And so when science began to understand this, uh, it didn't work out with like churches. Believers in God, they could not. There was a huge bridge, a huge gap between the two, between science and belief in God. That was just there was a separation there that they couldn't, a gap that they couldn't fill, because the belief in God was it was a completely mysterious belief. Like, um, I, why do I say mysterious? Well, if you believe, I have always, ever since I was a kid, I was always a believer that there's a some very, very big God up there, and he's sitting there with a very big stick for somebody ready, that if somebody will sin, then he'll get wrapped with that stick. That is how I always viewed God. And of course, later on in churches, well, I of course got a much different picture. I got a picture that he is a very loving God, and that God is, um, and always is portrayed as he, as God as a he. Well, it isn't actually. It's not. It isn't he or she. There is no there. That's for life form, for humans, or for other life form. Whereas God is, there isn't actually a he or she. Mother, we call it Mother Nature, and it indeed is. It indeed is Mother Nature. But our thoughts, our thoughts, which are prayers, um, there is actually no difference between thoughts and prayers, because what your thoughts are, what you habitually think, is what you are ordering and what comes back into your life. And so therefore thoughts basically are prayers. And so it's important for us to to order our thoughts properly, and this will give us great joy. This is where we can build a life of joy and true satisfaction, true fulfillment in life, because we can change our habitual thinking. And that is where all attitudes come from, and so when we where were my thoughts here? Oh yes, creation. So when we connect with the nature around us, that is the life form, and it brings into our life the wealth and the happiness and the fulfillment that we actually are looking for. Now, everything that we need for health, for wealth, we can create everything out of nature. Everything. Now, it is also possible, if a person is sick, we can also pray for healing, and healing never fails. We pray in faith, healing, it never fails, because faith never fails. And so for those of us who, if we don't understand that, then we don't understand the science behind prayer. Now, this is where it used to be very difficult for people to say, well, there is science in prayer. That doesn't, prayer is completely spiritual. Well, actually, it's not. Let's put it this way. Once we leave this body, which we do, we shed this body, and then we're in a different dimension of life. When we do that, we're in a different dimension of life. And those are like, there's a fourth and fifth dimension, and who knows how maybe there's an infinite number of dimensions. I don't know how that goes, but we are in a different dimension, and this has been experienced by people who actually died and then came back. And so therefore we understand this, that we're then in a different dimension. So we pray when we have need, when we have joy, when we have maybe accomplish something, when we are grateful, like an attitude of gratitude is prayer. It's a grateful prayer. When we feel need, and we feel sick, well, that is a problem. That's a problem, because we need to get out of that feeling, because the feeling produces more of the same. And so when we have those when we have the feelings of poverty, well, we need to change those feelings, because those feelings, they produce more poverty. And so that is where affirmations are very, very powerful, to help us change those feelings, so that it's kind of like, if you I don't know, I was just going to liken it to a guitar. Like you pick up your guitar and you strum it, and right away you can hear it's just way out of tune. It just sounds horrible. Well, it can easily be that it's really just a matter of tuning one or two wires, and it'll sound perfect. Who knows? But But when it fits and when it's right, it sounds so right. It sounds so, such harmony when you strum a chord. And that is how life needs to be. It needs to be harmony. It needs to be joy. Every morning you wake up and it's just, wow, like, man, I get to do what I love doing today. And joy and happiness, of course, that produces health. Then we are healthy. And I am kind of saddened too, because that of the person that died, I didn't really know her. I think a lot of people in TBC did, apparently, according to what Joe, not Joe, uh, no, Stephen Cuffey was saying. And so it's, but when we leave this body, we are in a fourth dimension, which leaves all the experiences of that we have here behind. The fourth dimension is a much, much higher dimension than we can ever be in this body. And so it is absolutely a huge step forward. And yet, with the way we are created, we want to live. We want to live, and we want to live in abundance and happiness and so on. This is what TBC was made for, because the world that as it has been created for us is not a system of abundance. It is a system of poverty, and has impoverished the world more and more and more. Well, TBC has come along. Let me digress a wee bit. Bitcoin was created at first for that purpose, to bypass the banking system. But there wasn't a clear view as to how to do it, how to set it up so that we were free from the hooks of the banking systems. And so exchanges were quickly set up, and that is the hook. That is the hook to the controls. So TBC was created without those hooks. So for those of you who think that TBC should be in exchanges, here's what I'm telling you. There is no way that we could use TBC to lift the humanity out of poverty, because as soon as we put it in exchanges, we have the hooks on it, and then we get dragged in. That is, we have to stay clear from that. And this is why TBC has been created in such a way that it is a private community instead. So let us be grateful for that. Let us truly be grateful that someone had the vision and saw what was needed and came along and provided it. So I think that is something that we ought to truly be grateful for. And so I have went over how you can migrate, what it takes to do that. If you're a person who hasn't paid the $10 wallet fee, well, first of all, let me encourage you to do that. I mean, think about it. Why would $10 be a problem to pay? TBC has given us so incredibly much. First of all, we all got a huge gift when we got our wallet, and then when the trouble came along, TBC could have walked off. The owner could have said, you know what, after all, you guys are all that posting all that negative on Facebook and so on. I'm out of here. That's what many people would have done. Instead, they stuck around and they built a brand new system. And of course, there's a lot of expenses with all this. So let us be very, very happily and gratefully pay those $10. Like, I mean, $10 a year is so insignificant. You know, it's just so low. Now, if getting crypto TB, I mean, sorry, if getting cryptocurrency, which is required for that, if that is difficult for you, and you would rather uh, have me look after it for you, I can do that. But I charge for that. I charge $10 to do that for you. So that's a $20. That costs you $20 if you want me to do it. But I'll do it for you if you can do that on my website, and the link is in the description. So I happily help you, but it's not for free. Okay, so I think that is pretty much all I wanted to say. I could really go on about the law of vibration a lot more, but I would rather do a separate hangout on that, that is maybe not so much tied with where I'm not trying to help somebody with the functions of TBC or something like that. So, but I might even, eventually, I think I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to soon one time. I'm not sure when, but I'll do a hangout just on that, and it's very likely going to run at least an hour long when I do that, because there is very, very much to be said on the law of vibration, which also, in order to explain it, you kind of need to include quite a few of the other uh, laws, universal laws as well, to help us truly understand it. And even an hour would hardly do justice to it. I could do quite a few hours on that, but to give us a bit of an understanding, that would probably do it. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I see Krypton is here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I believe everything is went well now with the transaction we did. It's all good. So, and then Romeo, thank you very much also for hanging out with me tonight. And then thank you, Margie, for the moderating. And we got Bitcoin Scott. Thank you as well for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Bitcoin Scott. And now we got Mosa. Thank you also. Thank you very much, all of you. I truly appreciate that you're hanging out with me here. And so we'll hopefully see you tomorrow if it works out for you. I'm doing them every day, even Sundays, unless for some reason it wouldn't suit. Other than that, I do them every day. I don't do them every day in the evening. On Friday evenings I'm not on, but I am on pretty much. Other than that, I'm on usually mornings and evenings. And then I do a German one. I have started doing a German one yet, usually in the morning after the first one. So, all right, you all have a wonderful night or day or whatever it is for you, and peace.